Hello friends, welcome. I'm so excited to be here. I am Heidi with Onigo Stamping. Sorry, my camera's in a little bit different space than normal. And so I'm getting a lot of glare today. So I apologize for that, but I'm gonna flip the camera around in just a few minutes anyway. And you won't see that glare anymore because you'll be looking at some fabulous projects. I'm really excited to be here today. Thank you, Lisa, for putting this together and for inviting me to be a part of it. It's been fabulous. It has been a great day. Have you guys been having fun? Have you enjoyed what you have been watching? Are you sitting home and doing some crafting along? I would love to hear if you've been inspired by a project today and have already started to incorporate some of those ideas in your crafting. So, hello, Lisa. I'm so glad you're here. Yay. So, like I said, my name is Heidi, and I am with Onigo Stamping. I have been a demonstrator for 3 years now, but this is my second time around. So I actually was a demonstrator for about 10 years, back from about 98 to 2008. And then I took some time off and came back just about 3 years ago. I do call my group Onigo Stamping, and people always ask me why that is. So let me just tell you before I get started. In addition to being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I also teach French at our college, and then I do some online classes as well. So Onigo is franglais or Franglish for let's go, and that is totally my attitude towards crafting. I'm 100% ready to jump in and try anything. So that being said, Onigo, let's get stamping. I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera around. You might want to cover your eyes. I am not practiced at this little move, so it might be pretty bad. Hi, Kimberly. Welcome. Let me see. We're going to flip the camera. There we go. And my setup is not very conducive for this either. So, all right. Hopefully that is straight-ish. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can pull this up on my second device so that I can see it all. Maybe catch some comments while we're going. And, oh, there I am. Yay. Let's see. All right. I am getting some shadow today. Hopefully, ooh, there we go. That's better. Move some stuff around and we are good to go. Yay. Hello. Hi, Haven Ray. What a great name. Kimberly, Denise, so glad you guys are here. So I am going to be using the Artfully Layered stamp set. I wanted to go ahead and show you what comes in this suite because it's a whole suite of products. This is the stamp set, and I absolutely love this these gorgeous images that are right here. Just so pretty. And I love the script that is in here too. It combines two different fonts, and I just, I always love that. So, all right, I'm gonna set that aside. We'll talk about the embellishments in a minute. This is the designer series paper that comes with it. The Artfully Composed designer series paper. Now, of course, it is 12 by 12, but I've cut it down to 6 by 6 just so it would fit in the camera a little bit better. And you can see that this side is all these gorgeous prints. This is my favorite. I love this one. Oh, so all these gorgeous prints. And then what I really love is on the back side, they're kind of like really subtle prints. So a lot of these almost read as a solid color. So if you have trouble mixing and matching prints, like you want to be able to mix and match prints, I can't speak today, but you're scared, you're a little bit afraid what to put together. These are awesome because you're gonna be able to put any of these with like these big bold flowers, and they're gonna work out perfectly. So that is the designer series paper, Artfully Composed. And then with this set, there's also this printed vellum. Now there's 6 different sheets. Again, this is 12 by 12, but I cut it down so you could see it a little bit better. And each design comes in black and white. So you can see this one in black, and then there's white as well. There's like this text that is black and white. And I think they told us that this all comes from the Library of Congress, like from documents that are there. So this is really cool too. And you have this map one, just really awesome vellum. So much fun for layering. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Cheryl. Yay. And then of course it has dies. These are the dies. show you what those cut out. So I've kind of cut those out for you. Now I do want to tell you one thing. This, just show you this, kind of put my stamps together here. So this stamp and this die go together, and this stamp and this die go together. But you can tell that these do not like go together. They don't make like one image. You know how sometimes Stampin' Up! Gives us images that one of the die cuts lays on the other die cut to make one complete image. These don't. Even when you turn them over, like if you were to flip that over, they still don't quite line up. They're really made to layer and look different and not look the same. So that's kind of fun. And there's also these dies that just cut these patterns out. I don't know if you can see that really well. Let me hold that up just a little bit. They cut out these patterns. I've not figured out a card to use those on yet. Still working on that because they're absolutely gorgeous. I think they're really fun. I just haven't figured it out yet. So, all right. And then there are some embellishments in here. There is the faux sea glass shapes, which are really fun, different sizes. And then I am going to be using this today. This is the frayed white ribbon, which is just, oh, I love it. It's so much fun. So I'm going to do things just a little bit differently. I'm going to show you some card samples using this, this suite of products. And then I'm going to show you the card, which uses a fun technique that I wanted to share with you. And then I have some additional cards that use the same technique, but not the same stamps. So that's why I'm going to start with these samples that use those stamps. So here's the first one. Isn't that fun? Just really, really great layers that we got going on there. This one I love. This one is like my favorite card right now. I love clean and simple cards, but they are hard to make. You guys, I'm going to tape down. My grid paper here, which I normally do, but since I had to flip around my camera, I didn't know if I'd have to move it. So I'm just going to tape that down. Anyway, I love clean and simple cards, and the textures and everything going on here. Yeah, this is like my favorite card I've made recently. Although this one is really good too. I love this suite. This suite just grabbed me. The minute I saw it, I was like, oh, I have to have that. So just love it. And again, we have all this texture. You can see I've combined the different papers and some fun, bright colors. So, all right. Those are just some extra samples for you. Let me go ahead and get started. So I've already loaded up a couple of my stamps that I'm going to start with. For this card, I'm going to be using the Soft Succulent and the Evening Evergreen ink pads. So I'm going to start. We are going to be using an oldie but a goodie. I noticed a lot of people today have been using some oldie but goodie techniques and oldie but goodie fun fold cards, and we are doing an oldie but goodie technique, and it is the kissing technique. So I'm going to start by inking up my stamp with the Soft Succulent. And I'm just going to set that aside. And then I have my Evening Evergreen ink pad. And I am just going to ink up. There's like this stamp in here, and it's really cool because it has like text. I think it might be in Latin or something, but you don't have to try to make your text look old and not complete. They already did it for you. So you don't have to be able to read this. So I'm just going to ink this up. And then I'm going to stamp it right on my stamp. And I'm just doing that all the way up towards the top. So then I have a piece of basic white paper. And of course, I'm going to be loading up a, what do I want to say? I'm going to be loading up a tutorial after this with all of this information on it. So you're going to have all the dimensions and everything. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp that right on there. Let's see how it came out. Ooh, it's a little bit darker than I expected, but that's okay. It'll work. So now I forgot, you know what? Well, we're going to set that aside. I'm going to do something with it in just a minute. I did go ahead and pre-cut one of those leaves out using the die cuts. And I'm just going to take that stamp again. I'm going to grab, I was hoping I was going to grab a piece of scrap paper. Here we go. Just so I don't make a big mess, then you don't have to look at it the whole time. All right, so we'll just ink that up. And I'm just going to stamp this right on this leaf. Now this is tone on tone, so it's not going to show up a lot on here, but I think it just gives it a nice little extra, something. So, all right, and I'm going to go ahead and just do this again on the inside of my card. I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to huff on this. You can't see me. I'm going to like just blow hot air on it and see if I can get another impression out of here. Because I just want to do this for the inside of my card. Ooh, look at that. And I'm going to see if I can get a third. Do you think I can get a third? There's a third image. Ooh, those are nice and light. So there we go. Go ahead and stick my ink pads away before I stick my fingers in them. Oh, you know what though? Let's go ahead and do the stamping of my sentiment. I'm just moving my stamps way far away from me before I stick my fingers in them. So I just have a little piece, a scrap of basic white, and I'm just going to ink up the thank you stamp and stamp that right on there. Move my stamp way far away from me so I don't end up with ink on myself, because that's usually the way life goes. All right, I'm pulling back in this piece of basic white that I have over here. The only kind of huffing that is safe and legal. Very, very true, Marianne. I'm going to pull this back in. I forgot to, oh look, the embossing folder I want is right on top. That's so helpful. So I'm using the Tasteful Textile embossing folder, which is one of my favorites, just because it adds so much lovely, subtle texture. And I still use my old Big Shot because that's what I have. So I'm going to stick that on there, and then I'm going to put the special plate on here. Now, if you have the new cut and emboss machine, you're going to use the gray plate. All right, it's called the special plate. They used to be a blue plate, so I like to call this my blue plate special. All right, so either the blue plate or the gray special plate. And I just rolled that right through my my Big Shot machine over here. I'll just move everything else out of the way. And then, ta-da! Oh, isn't that texture so much fun? Oh, I love texture. You guys, I am all about texture. I'm a texture junkie. I don't know about you, but I am a texture junkie. All right, I have a piece of Evening Evergreen cardstock. It is 4 1/4 by 11 inches long. I went ahead and scored it at 5 1/2, and I just went ahead and folded it already so that I would be ready to go. And then I have a piece of that Designer Series paper, and the Designer Series paper is 3 by 5 1/2, but again, all of these dimensions will be on the tutorial for you. So I'm just going to use some of my green glue. Now, when you're using the green glue, you really want to just get that tip like right against your paper, because you don't need very much of it, right? And you don't want it smooshing out the sides. So you want to get just a little bit on there. Now I'm going to go ahead and just put this all the way over to the right and get it all lined up. There we go. And then I'm going to start layering. Let's start some layering. So I'm going to take my piece of basic white that is already embossed, and I am going to put this on another piece of Evening Evergreen, just like that. Oops. See, and this is the nice thing about green glue is when it's not quite straight, you can kind of, you know, just smoosh it around, get it wiggled right into place. And then I have a piece of Evening Evergreen. You guys, I love texture and I love layers. I'm like the layer queen. How about you guys? Do you like layers? Are you a layerer, or do you like one layer cards? I mean, one layer cards can be really fun too, and I do sometimes make them, but I'm definitely a texture and layer queen. So, all right, there we go. It's all starting to come together. Look at that. All right, so this is going to go on the front here. Put just a little bit of green glue on there, both, but mostly layered. Yeah, I just love layers. Layers. All right. There we go. Now I still have that little cutout that I have, so I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on here. When I go to glue these, what I do is I just put a little like dots of glue, little bits of glue, just in the bigger areas, because you really don't want to get too much. because if it gushes out, then it gets like sticky. And it's not. And if I get a little bit too much, I just like use the tip to push it out and kind of get rid of some of it. So, and this of course just takes a minute. My green glue is running a little bit slow right now, but that's okay. It's better than running too fast. So just get a little bit. There we go, and that should be plenty. And then this is going to come in here, and I just want to layer this up kind of so it's off the frame. We'll just hold that down for just a second. Texture, oh, layered. Look at all you layered friends. Ooh, layered. Yay. Yay, layered. All right. I'm going to grab my ribbon shears. And I'm going to start by just cutting off this end. This is a brand new roll, so it's like straight. So I'm just going to cut that end off. And then I just want it to be this long. So this is the easiest way to measure it, is just put it where I want it and then cut it. I may cut it again anyway, but. Now for this ribbon, I like to use the Stampin' Seal Plus. So I'm just going to take this very carefully and just roll some on there. And then we'll just pop my ribbon down over top. There we go. And I have a teeny tiny strip of soft succulent. Yes, I have a teeny tiny strip of soft succulent. And I want to put this over top of my ribbon right here. Actually, I'm going to come in and just cut off a little bit more of this. It's just a little bit longer than what I want. Come here. There we go. So this little strip is going to go right across here. So I'm also, since this is going on ribbon, I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal Plus for this. I did pull out my silicone craft sheet because, look at this. This is too wide, right? So I'm just going to put this on with my silicone craft sheet, and I'm just going to kind of like fold those little squares. Fold those under. You could also use some glue dots. So all sorts of things. But anyway, so I just folded those under so they're not sticking out. And then this goes right on here. Oh, my card is coming together. Just like that. I think I did this a little bit differently than I did the sample, but that's okay. All right, so move that aside. Move all these things aside. Bit by bit, we come in here. Now, I am going to go ahead and just fussy cut out my sentiment, because that's one of my favorite things to do, is to fussy cut out my little sentiments. This is just like bubble letters. Like, so you remember when you were probably in junior high and you wrote all over your notebooks and you did bubble letters? This is like bubble letters, except that instead of writing it and then using a pen to go around it, I stamped it, and now I'm using my scissors to cut around it. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Some people like to draw a line around it to cut on that, but I find that's harder than to just do this. Plus, then you have to try to erase any marks that show up. So, but if you need that line, you can definitely do that. I just like to take my scissors and just trim. So you can see I hold my scissors straight and mostly just turn my paper. Kind of helps give you a smoother line. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Nobody is going to look at it that closely and be like, oh, your border is not the same in these two areas, right? Pfft, whatevs. So I just cut that out just like that. I'm going to look. So I think somebody else earlier today was talking about the mini Stampin' Dimensionals. Like, I am already so far to being out of these. I've already like started trimming off the sides. So I'm just gonna snip these some more. I gotta order some more. This is my last sheet, and I just realized that the mini ones like tend to last me pretty long, just because I don't use them on as many things. But so I gotta order me up some more, because everything has to have dimensionals on it. I made a card the other day with no dimensionals, and it was, I don't know, it was a little scary. A little hard to take. All right. So this, I'm just going to layer this on here as well. And then I have my inside of the card. Let's add the inside before I forget. I'm going to make sure this is the right size because I feel like it might not be. Oh no, it is. All right. For some reason, it looked a little bit big. And it's better to find out that it is not the right size before you put the glue on than after. That is how I get glue on my trimmer. And then I like have to sit there and use some rubbing alcohol and a fingernail and try to get it off. Now don't forget, I do have some more samples for you using that fun kissing technique in different stamps. So we're just going to glue that right in there. And then I'm not using the Artistry Blooms self-adhesive sequins, although those are my favorite embellishments, so I'm a little surprised I'm not using them today. Instead, I grabbed those brushed metallic adhesive back dots. I think that's what they're called. And I'm just going to grab some of these. I kind of like this coppery color, or pewter color, maybe? I don't know what color it is, but it kind of has that greenish tone to it. So just add some of these in here. And of course, embellishments in 3 in a triangle. And I always like to put like 2 of my 3 embellishments close to each other and then the third one further away. That's my little thing. So there is the card, our kissing technique card with the Artfully Layered stamp set. Isn't that fun? Quick and easy card to put together, but so much texture and layers that it pops. So, all right, let me show you the other stuff. I'm going to show you a boo-boo that I made. Thank you, Lisa. I'm so glad you like it. A card without dimensionals is just flat. You're very true. I'm going to show you a boo-boo I made first. So I made this sample first, and I decided it was just way, way, way too busy. So I did not use that one. We'll throw that one away, or maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll like it later. What do you think? Here is the card that I did end up making though. So this uses the, of course I did not write down the names. It uses the In Bloom stamp set with the All Squared Away stamp set. So I used the All Squared Away stamp set, and this one I didn't ink up the flowers beforehand. I just left them just as they were. And I inked up the All Squared Away stamps. I'm having trouble talking now. I inked up the All Squared Away stamps with the Magenta Madness ink and just stamped the flowers on there. So it's just white and then the Magenta Madness. But aren't that fun? And then this, of course, is my favorite celebration item, which is the Sunshine and Rainbows Designer Series paper. Love it. I was just telling somebody today I had to open my 3rd pack. I had to open my 3rd pack today because I've used so much of it. Now, I did decide to pull out the, Island Vibes stamp set and use that on a couple of these. So this is with the Watercolor Shapes stamp set for the background. And I inked up the watercolor shapes with the So Saffron ink. Yes, Cheryl, a 3rd pack with the So Saffron ink. And I stamped that pineapple from the Island Vibes stamp set with Early Espresso. And then I stamped the Hello. The Hello is from the Artistically Inked stamp set. Whew, this is like, I don't know, a quiz. I used all these today, so I should know the names of them, but it's like a total quiz for me. And then this background has that gingham, the gingham embossing folder. So just really fun. This was a really quick and easy card to make. And then I made another one with that same Island Vibes and the Watercolor Shapes stamp set. Now I know that this stamp right here, it does already have a corner on it, but here, you know what? Now I have it in the other corner. It's in the opposite corner. And it did get a little smooshy with the ink, but I don't know, I kind of like that. So this is soft seafoam, I have to think, soft seafoam with Evening Evergreen. And again, I stamped around the edges and I ran that through with that Tasteful Textile embossing folder, which I just love. So isn't that fun? Really quick and easy quick, easy cards with that fun kissing technique. So there are all my kissing cards, my smoochy cards. They don't quite fit. Anyway, that is all that I have to share with you. Oh, thank you, Kimberly. I'm so glad that you like them. Thank you again for joining me today. Next up is also going to be Heidi. How perfect is that? She's going to be up at the top of the next hour, which you just look at your time wherever you are. I'm in the East Coast. I'm over in Michigan. So for me, that's going to be at 8 o'clock. But, you know, wherever you are, you change it to the top of the hour. So that's it for me today. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure that you come back. We still have, I think, three more demonstrations. Not quite sure, but it's going to still keep going on for a few more hours. So lots of great stuff. Have a fabulous evening. And I got to find the right place to shut myself off at. All right.